All right, in this problem, I've got a golf ball. It's struck 45-degree angle, uh, 80 feet per second on this upward slope of 10 degrees. And I want to find the distance up that slope that this guy moves, okay? So the way I'm going to treat these is I'm going to treat X and Y axes like this, okay? And I do that because, again, my acceleration will all be in the Y axis, okay? Now, the first equation I'm going to use is my x equation. For projectile equations, generally, you're almost always going to need that horizontal equation. So I'm going to start with that one, okay? Where my distance traveled in the x direction will be d cosine of 10. And that's going to equal my initial position in the x direction, which I'm going to call 0, okay? Plus the initial velocity, the launch velocity in the x direction, which is going to be 80 times the cosine of 55. That's going to be the 10 plus the 45, because again, that 45 is relative to that slope that I have there. So that'll be 80 cosine of 55 times t. So there's one equation. I have my distance traveled that I'm looking for as well as the time. So the next thing I need to do is figure out what's going on with that time. I need another equation that has time in it. Okay, and what I'm going to use, because again, I'm dealing with positions here, and I'm trying to figure out kind of where it lands, is I'm going to use the vertical position equation as well, where my initial or my final position is going to be d sine of 10. My initial position is v. My initial launch velocity is going to be 80 sine of 55 times t. And now that first one had 0 acceleration. This one has a negative g acceleration. So it's going to be negative 1/2 times g, which is 32.2 when I'm dealing with feet, okay, times t squared. So now I've got two equations, two unknowns, okay? So I'm going to take that top equation and I'm going to say, okay, well, that t equals d cosine of 10, okay, 80 cosine of 55. I'm going to take that and plug it in here and here, let you do that on your own, and I get a value of d equals 166 feet. Okay, so for these projectile problems, generally I start with the horizontal component because that's what makes a projectile, the fact that there's horizontal motion. Okay, and then I basically piece it together from there depending on what I know, what I'm given, what I'm trying to find, and that sort of stuff. And generally, you can solve up to 3 equations, 3 unknowns, and solve what you get, and that is your answer.